Greetings, fellow Beyonders. I'm your humble host and scribe, Sven, and this is Beyond the Worlds Beyond. The primary purpose of this series will be exploring the lore and story within these campaigns. This episode feels a bit strange since between gathering and reviewing my notes, the preview it focuses on, the Wild One, then and now, is no more, subsumed back into the greater narrative from which it was teased. That said, a wise scribe, especially when dealing with stories strong in folklore and legend, knows better than to break a triptych or ignore liminal spaces they find themselves passing through. As such, we will continue this installment, and we'll be doing a quick summary of the episode and then diving into the lore questions that it raises. We first meet the Great Bear, one of the great and wild ones, and the many children who cavort around him. Among these children is our wild one, Ursulon. Also in their number is his sister Kalaya, a badger-like spirit, and his brother, Narian, a being of leaf and flame. Our tale begins with Ursulon playfully stealing a mushroom from Kalaya and in turn fleeing from a somewhat less playful Anarian seeking to seize the same. In his flight, he passes through a portal between the realm of spirits and the mortal realm. Here he meets the knight Sir Curran and first becomes aware of concepts such as honor and quests, and his desire for them. He receives a pauldron from Sir Curran and, in turn, gifts the knight the mushroom that began it all before departing to return to the world of spirits. We then make our way to the present day, and apparently some time after the present vignettes of Ame and Suvi, as they, together, alongside a talking fox, have come to a performance of Professor J.B. Adelaide's traveling troupe seeking Ursulon. Here they find him performing using his true form as a villainous ogre, while his glamoured form is portrayed as the actor behind the role. We learn that time has not been kind to Ursulon since he has last seen his friends, and he's lost much both material and in opinion of self. Despite this, Ame and Suvi rally their friend and reclaim his music box from Adelaide, and together the three set off on a quest to find and recover a sword from their youth since traded away, Wavebreaker. As we move into questions, I will note that some of these have since been answered, at least to some degree, by the Children's Adventure, and highly recommend joining the Worlds Beyond Number Patreon and enjoying that work if you have not already. However, I will still present them here, as I noted them at the time of listening, for completion and because they are still worth considering and pondering. Unlike with Ame's preview, we do not see the point of meeting between Ursulon and the other children. At the end of his childhood vignette, we see him on his way to return to the world of spirits. Is this a case where he fails to return home and thus finds grandmother Wren's? Or does he make it back, but eventually his desire for honor and quest drives him back to the mortal realm? Similarly, what is the fate of Sir Curran? There is much folklore around spirits and their gifts, especially food, ranging from the benevolent to the mischievous to the downright dangerous. Though Ursulon's intent was clearly pure, will there be any lasting repercussions of the mushroom he left with Sir Curran, or from their meeting in general? We must ponder also what is the quest that drives Sir Curran. It is clearly one of great import and one that inspires envy and jealousy among some of those he travels with. Will we ever discover its whole nature? Does he succeed with it? If not, will that quest perhaps fall to Ursulon in the future? Back to Ursulon, I of course have to wonder about the nature and fate of his mother. We learn that the Great Bear loves deeply, but also widely, and that many mothers account for his many children. That, however, does not mean there will be no import to his mother. Ursulon speaks much and proudly of his father, but has not yet made mention of her. Has he known his mother at all? Will he and we meet her eventually if not? Moving to the present day, the obvious question that arises is what befell Ursulon in the years between? How did he fall so far in his own estimation that he would not seek out his friends when in need of aid? What hardships and scars has he suffered? How long has he been with the traveling troupe? It seems that, while his relationship with Adelaide is mixed, that there is some support among the members, though not enough to bother learning his proper name. Finally, what of Wavebreaker? In legends such as this, a named weapon is always something of great import, be it magical or not. Likely, given the system in play, it will be both. Is it solely as an item of power that it is important to the quest, or some deeper matter still? How did it come by its name? Is it figurative, perhaps having broken the ranks of an enemy and turning the tide of battle? Or is it more literal and has some power over or bestowed by aquatic forces? That's all for this installment of Beyond the Worlds Beyond. As always, please feel free to throw your own questions and theories in the comments, as I love hearing what others latched onto in these amazing vignettes. I've been your host, Sven, and thank you very much for listening. Farewell for now, fellow Beyonders.